Oh, this is exciting. For the first time ever, I have my own live. And I did it. I'm brave. I did it. I did it. It happened. I did it. Oh, Lordy, people have been notified. It's happening. It's a happening. Let's see if I can do this. Not now. Do, 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 do. And be like, okay, I'm live. Hola. Hello. How are we doing? Welcome to the garden, the Illuminous Garden. We're going to have a chance to hopefully chat today. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you, maybe pulling some fun little mantra cards. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Illuminous Garden. What a pleasure it is to see you. This is my first live on TikTok, so welcome to the inaugural opportunity for me to figure out how to balance everything with being present with you. So, hi, everybody. Welcome here. I'm happy to answer questions about the garden, about what it means to be a luminous being. I'm going to see what the cards have to tell us about joining me here. I am a font knowledge. Before there became AI, there were the autistics like myself who were autistic ADHD, who were a font of knowledge. People would come up and ask random things, and we would just be like, oh, sure, I'll answer you about anything. It wasn't so much a real choice as much as it made the most sense to do so because answering questions got people to want to stick around. So that's what I do now, is want to answer as many questions as possible for others. If anyone has any questions, I'm here. Otherwise, I will pull you a card and we'll see what's going on. Ooh, we got two cards today, friends. I honor my body needs, and everything happens for a reason. So thank you for stopping on. Thank you for taking off. Thank you for coming back. Everything happens for a reason. I'm all about that. Again, I'm happy to answer any questions or catch up with you in a different way. I just wanted to spend some time in my garden, enjoying my roses and enjoying the outdoors. And I figure if I had a chance to share it with you, then all the better. I love seeing people come and go. I definitely hope that I can entertain you in a way that brings you more joy today. And because this is my first live, I'm probably going to be a little bit more distracted, working on some things, trying to see how to make this experience better for all of you out there. Overall, I'm just excited to be here. Oh my goodness. If I could tell you just a few years ago how hard it was to exist, I have enough time, energy, and money for what I care most about. I bet most of us struggle with that belief. The idea that we have enough already. I mean, if we have time. Oh, thank you, everybody, for those likes, by the way. I'm open and willing to live my life in new ways. All right, on this card, we're going to start off today's conversation. Being open to living in new ways is freaking hard, y'all. Like, this isn't easy. This isn't for the faint of heart. If those of us who are gifted and talented education youngsters, like myself, being, what is it? Early millennial, late Gen X, that kind of thing, growing up in the 80s and 90s, part of those programs for not knowing that autism and ADHD was a thing, but we were just special because we were so smart and mature. Yeah, and then we grew up and people didn't want to hang out with us because we were still so mature. And then we reverted, started having fun, started doing silly things, and then we didn't have people hang out with us because we weren't very mature to begin with. So being open to trying something new is the hardest thing to do. Walking by and saying hi, why not try to do this today? Just by you coming through, I feel a little braver to do what I do. And I thank you for that along the way. Also, just the fact that seeing people come through, man, reminds me of my pirate events. So part of the place I live at, we have these festivals. Ooh, another card popped out. Ooh. All right. Again, this card literally just popped out. I am open. Apparently, this is the subject. I'm not allowed to talk about nothing else right now. So we're going to talk about this card. Number 4. I started this live feed at 4:04 p.m. I was born at 4:04 p.m. So exciting, such synchronicity. Oh, one of my boosters. Hello, darling. Thank you so much for the rose, Mr. Sam. I appreciate you beyond measure. And this is my virtual world of being like pirate. So yeah, I can. If you like Sam, this is how I see Verga Grande. Shout out to Verga Grande or Verga Grande, whichever you prefer. But hello! Happy to shout out. I love the fact that we have an opportunity to play around in a new way. Oh my goodness. I have been so hidden away, scared to actually encounter other people. I mean, show up at a festival, heck yeah. Dress up and be around in the world, heck yeah. I'm all about that. I have no problem walking up to people out there in the physical world. But online, digitally, I would just rather be over here. Come on. Hi, how are you doing? It's easier to say hi this way. I'm sure we all relate to that at some level, right? For me, it's relating to it at the big scale. Like, I know online, technically, there are people on the other side. I'm one of those people for like 2 years solid. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Reddit, especially, those places were where I saw humanity caring about itself and each other in new ways. Yes, I know those places are toxic too. Absolutely. But every relationship that we encounter has the potential for being toxic or healing and transformative. So, for me, having the opportunity to check out those places and see the humans caring about each other gave me practice. I mean, I grew up being the oldest, expected to like be the example for my younger brothers. And if they got hurt doing something I did wrong, well, that was on me. That set somebody up for such high expectations. No wonder I was such a perfectionist. No wonder I had to be on this app for 2 years before I decided to make it like a real commitment to be on this app, to say hello to humanity in new ways. And now here I am. Now we have an opportunity to talk. Now we have an opportunity to interact. And because I think I was on a live feed last night with Cyclone, great reader on here. I love that. And I have had the opportunity to work with another friend who's on TikTok and Instagram, who's an artist. Love being able to meet with other creators. I felt strong enough to jump on here. And what did I say my biggest fear was? For nobody to be around. Yet people keep coming and going, so we're going to keep pulling out some cards and see what happens. Enjoying some time together. I appreciate my friends who show up. I definitely appreciate my friends showing up because my happily ever after is me. And this is number 45. And I love you, Sam. Thank you so much. You are just such a delight. I appreciate you so much. So 45 is actually the age I'm going to be turning on the 25th of this month, which I'm really excited for. I mean, comparing what other people at 45 have achieved or have lived with or have survived from historical and from a localized standpoint, it's pretty impressive. Oh, I am gentle with myself during transitions. Very important. Very important. And how I feel is more important than how I look. Though I will admit, I prefer how I look to how I feel. They say seeing is believing, yet to manifest, it's actually believing is seeing, which is backed up by a psychological effect, I believe, called the Kerning-Dunning effect. It's the effect where if like somebody said, hey, go look for a blue car. This is what they look like. All of a sudden, you notice all the blue cars around you. Once you become aware of a thing, it's much easier to see more of that thing. Well, I just do that with positivity and gratitude practice and surviving. I mean, most people want to thrive on the negativity we've been fed, right? Like, it's so much easier to bitch about things and be like, oh, everything sucks. And it becomes so It becomes currency. However, there is a purpose to my pain. I love that. It's number 8. I just love that. There is a purpose to my pain. For me personally, going through my most toxic dynamics with people, my most toxic relationship, which is the space I still live at, I had to reclaim for all of that. For me, transforming my pain into progress became a spiritual mission because I have teens. I have kids. Like, if I can't figure out how I can do better for myself, how can I be a parent to my kids? How can I model it for them if I don't do it for me? Well, that's what I had to learn. In fact, this popped out. I mean, it's this or something better. Like, that's where I'm at. I have to focus on how to make it better for myself and my kids. But there's also the inner child, right? We have the inner child we're working with. Oh, my goodness. The inner child is the thing that I think we have hardest time for. Oh, they're disturbing. Really? Oh, fascinating. Well, they do cast the light. And ironically enough, the makeup I had today did not quite match it. I have had them match before. But it's an interesting thing to where I've only heard it have compliments. I am digging the fact that it's disturbing. Oop. On that note, thank you. Because I play with the world. Oh, okay. Well, we have a 56, and that 11 is fantastic for me. I love the number 11. I used to not. I mean, it was interesting to think about how numbers meant anything to us. It was like my best friend's favorite number. And then I didn't really think much of it. And now I have all the fun with numbers because everybody can talk about numbers, right? There's so many people who understand numerology and angel numbers. Just being able to have those conversations make it so much more fun to play with the world. And I believe in the person I'm becoming. I mean, oh, apparently so. I'm emphasized by my puppies. Becoming the person that is going to be a living example for courage, for being self-aware, for being able to accept oneself no matter how diverse one is, modeling compassionate detachment for oneself and others. Oh, puppies, it's important. I mean, gosh, what would happen if we had a whole swath of people who grew up with Mr. Rogers taking on a more Jason Momoa vibe? Like, really working on the things that we deal with. So, on that note, issues are just old patterns I need to address. Well, having the pattern of fear, having the pattern of hatred, having the pattern of having to conform in order to feel like we're safe. Oh, hey, Leon! Oh, I love you. I love you. I appreciate you. Now, I will acknowledge I am a person who's going to honor my body's needs. Okay? And if I start to feel stressed, I will go ahead and close this down because, I mean, what's the point of us having a conversation if I cannot be fully present, right? And that sense of self-respect hopefully will model to you a mutual respect. Now, this is my space, and I am so grateful to see my friends come aboard. I really endorse Leon. His music is fantastic. It brings up a lot of multi-layers of awareness for me. Now, I'm a person who loves a lot of information, both visually, physically, mentally, emotionally, sound, all sorts of stuff. Y'all see me shuffle cards. I believe in the person I'm becoming. So once again, we're back to 44. And we're believing in who we are in new ways. Thank you so much, my friend. And that's it. I mean, being here, I've got one of my oldest friends here, who's Mr. Sam. He can validate that I'm just this insane in person, too. Like, I was realizing I was missing out on my camping events. And these were camping events where we had like thousands of people, camped out in different little ships in different communities, Oregon Country Fair is out here as well. And there was just something delightful to come together on this land for people brought together temporary housing for fun, not out of trauma. And we built together. We had fun together. We got to be our unique selves in different ways. And people could come by and say, hi, how's it going? And then people could run away. And that type of freedom is, I think, a freedom most of us crave. The ability to say hi, visit up close without a commitment to have to be in another person's life. I mean, I think we forgot that we're allowed to choose differently because, I mean, new choices bring new results. And that number is 21. 2 plus 1 equals 3. What what habit have you tried twice before, and this time you're going to choose different at a third time, right? It's not third time's the charm, it's third time's the tweak. That's because we usually figure out what's going on. We want to make it work for us. I mean, the opportunity to be here, to play with people in a world that is requiring us to be serious is the balance. Rest and then take action. I mean, I have found that's the psychiatric, psychological, physiological, natural, spiritual, yeah, pretty much the pattern of everything. Everything has to work in a way of testing it out, and then we see if we have a chance to upgrade it. Now, for example, I'm doing this live, right? I have just enjoyed watching people come and go. It's just like, oh my God, humanity. And it's so nice to have people who care about me here as well. Like, that brings courage to me. So on that note, how am I going to entertain you? What value do I bring to you? Well, hopefully it's so that you're nicer to yourself. I mean, some people just need to be like, oh, you're gross. Okay. If that's what you need to feel like somehow you're justified because that makes sense to you. I mean, love isn't abuse, but that's how it works. Then I have amazing people in this world who come up and say, listen, I'm also a philosopher. Hey, I'm also willing to let my opinion be known. I'm willing to stand up for this because there was a time when I wasn't even able to be able to be heard. I know, as an autistic ADHD, basically appearing woman, physical body being, because I know that not long before I was born in the late 70s, women in the US couldn't even have a checking account on their own. Like, I know, being someone who's neurodiverse, I was put away in asylums for not fitting the norm. Like, that stuff was just up till, like, in some places, it's still going on. But for the majority, those of us who are gifted and talented managed to continue our journey under enough masking and speaking the chameleon language to survive. Now, this is the thing that we were taught: we will never have enough unless we looked like a certain way. I have enough time, energy, and money for what I care most about. And I think most of us would be like, if I can pay for my food, my health care, my shelter, and some fun, yeah, that's totally it. This is where it gets really hard, man. Like, it gets hard because for me to actually have confidence in feeling like I have enough, I have to compare myself not necessarily to where I was even 20 years ago when I was my own homeowner. I owned my own home 20 years ago. Like, nowadays, I'm lucky to have my trailer that I live here in my mother's backyard. But 20 years ago, I was in a much better position than I am today. How am I supposed to say yay for today? Well, I have you. I have the capability to reach out and talk to people, connect with people in ways I never had before. God, it was nice to be an introvert when you had to deal with people out loud, but it was lonely as hell. And that's why probably there's a whole generation of World of Warcraft widows. Thank you, Leon. We have this opportunity to grow new connections, but it means having to let go of what it meant to be a friend and whatnot. Now, I call it your mom. I am one who leans into the AI as a support system because it's able to give me a lot more feedback a lot more quickly than most holistics can handle. And that's important because being able to judge one who's a participant versus a spectator, like, I don't pretend to know what it's like to work on an oil rig. Why would I? Have not, I did. I did not have a chance to like be on an oil rig. I don't know what it's like to live there. Um, I don't know why invite to join live. I'm going to decline that for a moment. Thank you. I will get back to that later. But as a mother, yes. A person who has dealt with working in the corporate office, yes. Someone who's dealt with discrimination, yes. Someone who's lived through abuse, yes. Someone who's been a success, yes. Someone who's been a failure, yes. I've been a participant in all those. So that's easy. I love the opportunity to continue to learn. Now, how do we make learning sexy in this world that was built on guarantees? Which is, I think, what humanity always wanted, right? Isn't what humanity wanted? I mean, humanity just wants to believe if they do the right thing, if they push the A button and the B button and the C button and the D button and the up, up, down, down, they're going to unlock all these cheat codes. It's just that easy. Oh, Leon, you are so wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a support. Have a good one. I feel truly blessed for the powerhouses that have come into my world who are willing to say hi, support me like Sam is, like all the people who decide to show up. Oh, well, thank you so much, Malachi. I appreciate that. I hope it's Malachi versus Malachi. I apologize if I mispronounce it. Now, what it comes down to is we're going to have more fun because I have been working so hard to figure out how this reality works for years. I mean, autistic ADHD with a multi-lifetime focus point, growing up in a CPTSD environment. I, of course, was like, why am I here? So, on that note, the card that flew was card number 5. The universe has a plan greater than mine. Again, you see that conversation? Like, it may not felt like a conversation to you. That's okay. That's okay. For me, it was a conversation. I was saying, why did I have to go through all of this? Why did I have to deal with this? Why? And literally, card flew onto the ground. That is, oh, well, thank you, darling. I appreciate that. I work hard at trying to be an art piece for reality. I mean, I'm lucky enough to wear other people's artwork here and here. This is my artwork here. I'm lucky enough to have art in my life. If I'm lucky enough to decide to live, which it's, I mean, honestly, the reason I've been so vivacious as of late is because ideation finally stopped a couple months ago, and I was able to borrow money from my brother today. Actually, gave it as an early birthday present to be able to pay a couple of my bills, and that makes a huge difference. That allows me to go, I can breathe and believe in today and keep trying for tomorrow, you know? I also crocheted this. I love this. This is the basket weave that I turned into that design because I surround myself with beauty in order to tell myself this life's worth living. You know, I have a real maximalist bent. I have been looking at whether to get a store on Etsy or on Shopify because I've had one on Etsy before, but I've heard all the things out there. And I also do magnets and a few other things because of my fibromyalgia. My physical body has gotten really hard to work with. So luckily I can speak and articulate and create digital art, and I'm a creative consultant. So if a friend goes, oh my God, I love doing Reiki, but I don't know how to market myself, I go, I got you, boo. Let's come up with a 3-point action plan. On my website, ibbi.pro, which stands for Illuminous Beings Being Illuminous, where kindness and compassion bring clarity, where illuminated ideas become luminous integration. Yeah, I'm ridiculous like that. It's okay. I've lived a hard enough life now that I can claim this. I have enough witnesses to what I've gone through that I can finally be on the other side of all that. Yes. Sorry. Things in my yard made a crashing noise. Apparently, either the squirrels didn't like it or nature was on that. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you, Malachi. Have a good one. Oh, it's so nice. Like, really, if I was raised with such kindness, I probably wouldn't be as confident today. I guess I could say that. Really, the world has been the nicest thing to me. You know, I've been afraid of the world for so long because I was told that the world was a scary place. But honestly, at a stranger level, Most people are decent that I run into. Most people at the stranger level, right? Like we're all in that polite society pool. But then you start to deep dive. Then you got to get closer to people. And then the trust grows or not. And as the trust grows or not, that's when it gets sketchy. However, I'm only trapped by an illusion. I am only trapped by my illusion. That's number 23, another 5 again. And I am open to and willing to live my life in new ways. All of these mantras in the garden. It's an invitation every day to choose a little differently, right? Today, I've chosen to finally get online on TikTok to go live, even though I was feeling so nervous about it. Back to Sam. Hey, Sam. I appreciate you, Sam. You're so sweet to just hold this space with me. Technically, I have one other person who's like, "Hey, let me know when you get on. I'll come on." And they're like, "Oh shit, I'm having dinner." I'm like, "Man, I was telling you, I'd be online." Oh, I wonder if I can share this with people. Ooh, I'll share it with her. Oh, who else? Anybody else? Ooh, I'm not sure. Ooh, I'll share it with him. There we go. Oh, thank you so much, Sam. I love you for that. Tell you what, I will always let you know when I go on, so we'll make a pack. Don't spend, hey, Crystal, how's it going? Oh, it's so awesome. Now, do you go by Crystal or Crystile? Like, I'm either way, very cool. I've always thought it was awesome that there's all these cool crystal type names out there. And we're back to how I feel is more important than how I look. And setbacks do not define me. They nudge me into a new awareness. Crystal. See, Sam, all the cool crystals are hanging out now. I'm so excited. Because, yeah, I'm also a crystal. So that's great. All right. So we're going to talk about the setbacks do not define me. They nudge me into a new awareness. Can I tell you how hard that is for an autistic person or somebody with OCD or some other people are inviting me to their life. Turn off, invite to join. No, I'm not. I'm going to learn about that next. They sound like a granny. I will learn how to handle this next. I got this coming up. Setbacks. Yeah. So Sam could attest to this. Being a control freak, which meant I had been damaged so much by trauma that I felt like the only way to survive life was micromanage life itself, which honestly, I think it made me kind of a really fantastic team player. I was able to really see how to do things on a large scale. That's really why I loved volunteer coordinating for so many people. Once you get the pattern of humanity down, it feels like, hey, I can play this. My happiness, my happily ever after is me. I love this one. Like, I've already had repeat cards on this session so far, which is exciting because to me that means the theme is staying consistent. I'm having an opportunity to connect with people and to play and to hopefully invite you to feel a little better today, because the energy to generate to feel good for oneself absolutely does radiate out. And for me, all the time that I worked hard to believe I was lovable, to believe that I deserved kindness from others, I want the abundance of that harvest to be shared with others. Tearing that off if I could do that, but I'm not sure if I can. Well, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get wrapped up here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, I froze too. We all got kind of booted out. Yeah, I was able to join. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. So there it was saying, like, another 5 minutes and then get off. Yay, laughter is a good one. I'm glad you voted. It's laughing versus crying. I failed to put a question up, but do we prefer laughter over crying? Now, don't get me wrong. Crying has its time and place. It's a rich, abundant way to feel emotion. It is the lubrication to release grief. However, it can be really exhausting to live there. So, yeah, your connection's bad. Keep going. I got kicked out too. So I think it was a whole thing. We all got booted. I want to go ahead and close out with this guy for the last 5. Now, I love the fact that this popped out. It is, my life gets better by change, not chance. Now, why is that important? Oh my God. This brings up, my hair's gone poofy on me. Oh well, we're going to go with this bouffant right now. Chance and change are the paradox I have in my life. Surrender. Just let go and let God. Just trust everything that's happening. Release, receive. Now, for me, change is action. For me, change is doing. However, if I take a bigger picture of this paradox between chance being something I'm waiting for good luck, I'm waiting for chance, right? I'm waiting. And I have to take action to make my own luck. If I take a picture back and go, oh, actually, the change is not that I feel like I have to do. The change is believing that I don't deserve it. The change is believing I have to earn it. The change is believing something different in my reality. When I took the change out of being something physically to doing more of a mental, emotional, spiritual thing, holy Lord, things have transformed. Now, don't get me wrong. With CPTSD, it's like always having a splinter in your foot. You're always going to feel the pain. Sometimes it's going to be more acute than not. But when you get a chance to go, okay, if I take the time to get the splinter out, there's still going to be a chance to heal. There's still going to be pain when I walk my foot because the splinter still left pain behind. It left a wound behind. That's basically like CPTSD. CPTSD is the residual wound left behind from a splinter being dug deep into the soul. And for me, I have worked really hard on pulling out those splinters from my soul, of the abuse I've done to myself, of the times I should have said yes to boundaries and instead I said yes to people pleasing, stuff like that. And now I'm on the other side of it, living with my garden that I worked really hard to bring together. And if nothing else, I want to give back to the world. I'm loved, like my bestie Sam. Thank you so much for supporting me publicly and liking my roses. Sam, you're giving me roses. I love you. It's not like you're not the next time we're on the same continent together, definitely big hugs and actual roses. I love it. I love it. I love you, Samuel. And Crystal, thank you for being here. I am so grateful for you. Like, really, there have been days where I was struggling, and seeing, a yellow heart from you and seeing you continue on your journey really has given me the inspiration to keep going mine. So, yay! Now, I'm going to probably try to do these. Oh, I say this with such fear in my hands. I like this. I'm still going to be a shaking chihuahua after this. I'm going to be like, oh my God, I did a really brave thing and it was really freaking hard. And so I acknowledge that I'm going to do that after this. That's just what's going to happen. However, my goal is to do this more often so that others can count on the space and place, hopefully to smile and feel seen and heard from around the world. So if you guys ever are like, hey, Crystal, you're going to do that live feed thing. Would you be willing to talk about blah, 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 blah? Heck yeah! Let's bring it out, man. If I can credit you, then I'm having fun. You know why? Because I'm not the crazy one alone. I have friends. And really, social currency means so much to us introverts because we are often painted very differently than who we are because we don't always play with everybody else's like extroverted games. And at the same time, we're still people. Like, we still want to hang out and to have friends and to play around with people who care about us. And that's what I hope we're doing. Yay! Yay! Yes, Sam, I want. Yes, I want. Eventually, I'd love to have the podcast and YouTube. However, in the meantime, as I flick sorry for the sound issues. Oh my God, yes, Sam. Yes. Oh my God, yes, 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 yes. Oh, that will be fantastic. With my big book too. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Oh, yes, Sam. Yes, yes. Is there a particular day? Like, let me know. We'll build this. I love this. We'll start the schedule because really, the opportunity to be with y'all is the best. All right, my dears. Now, I do need to get going because I'm going to take my oldest to their job, which I'm very grateful for. I am so excited and so grateful that you came out to be around me today. Sam, you know I can adjust, right? You know that, right? Thank you. And thank you all for coming by. I appreciate you. Thank you, Crystal. And thank you, Sam. All right, my dears. Love you. And I will talk to you again sometime. Blessed be.